off it was a ripping game of footy.
Yep.
And the D's, your form coming in, Max, was really strong, 5 out of 6, and it was right there. So rooms after the game, overwhelming sense, is it just extreme frustration that you push the premiership favourites but couldn't quite get over the line?
Was it a ripping game of footy? I feel like half time was a very low score.
It was ripping and it was gripping in the sense that it was close and it was contested and it was.
It was actually extremely muddy. I haven't seen the MCG like that for a while. I think the game the night before and then a whole lot of rain, so it was always going to be that type of game. There was mud on the ball and it was slippery and lots of pressure, and we had a pretty heavy tag in the first quarter, so there was a bit of scuffling going on. And no, look, I still haven't really gotten over the loss, to be honest. I mean, I cost it, to be fair, so that doesn't help. But the fact that we got into a position where we've been before and maybe shots on goal or our inside 50 connection was something that let us down is disappointing, because we've worked on that for so long, 2, 3, 4 years, and we get to a position where we could ice the game. I know I had a shot late in the quarter. Bailey had a shot. Colton had a shot. Clayton had an inside fit. So we had these opportunities. Yeah. Everyone will look at my one at the end. The reality of us scoring from the back pocket is pretty low. And with a ruckman with the ball, it's probably even lower.
And they told you to play on, didn't they?
Yeah, well, the umpires...
They called you to play on, yeah. I obviously didn't try and play on. I have gone back and watched it. It does look like I take a few steps off, but that wasn't my intention. And then I got dealt do I step Bobby Hill in the back pocket, and I definitely wasn't going to do that. So I tried to kick it as far as I could, and it didn't work. So I'm going to pull you up. So you said you cost them the game. I mean,
I cost us that moment.
That moment.
Yeah. So you let yourself down, you let your club down.
And I've done that a couple of times this year, and you're the first to let me know.
He loves a bit of honest feedback.
Max, you played a really good game. You've been in great form. You played a really good game yesterday. I mean, you're there taking the intercept mark for a start. So in that moment, you've got to kick a goal to win. So to kick it short and wide, I mean, that's costing the game as well, because you're being conservative. So you have to be aggressive in that moment. You go for the inside kick. You go for the chaos ball. It's high risk, high reward in that moment, isn't it?
It's funny how thought out. I was in slow motion a little bit. A lot went through my head. So I didn't want to kick it to Darcy Cameron because he was down the line by himself. And then I looked over the fat side and we really had no numbers. Like, it would have been a stupid kick, and ended up being a stupid kick. But so I thought, I'm just going to try and kick this as high as I can to cause a little bit of chaos. And it ended up being an absolute deplorable.
It's one of the best passes I've ever seen. You hit him on the chest. It was down his throat.
There wasn't a Melbourne player within 20 metres of him.
So in that moment, you've turned the footy over. The whole world knows. What's the last thing you need? Because Stephen May comes up to you, and can you tell us exactly what he said? Because, I mean, we obviously couldn't hear, but what we could see was he was being pretty demonstrative towards you, and you didn't appreciate it. Take us through what happened.
I can't confidently tell you what he actually said. It was a pretty relatively big moment. I think it says a bit about both of us. We were both extremely disappointed in that last 30 seconds. I thought my reaction was really poor. I had a teammate just showing care. His version of care, as we know from a long history of Stephen May, is he strong with his care. But I know that I am really agreeable with how strong his feedback and his terminology and his body language is on ground, because he gets the best out of his team. So
what did he say?
No, I honestly can't confidently say what he said. It was definitely around my decision, and I agree with him in hindsight that the decision was poor.
Did he have a better idea?
I think what plays it up is the siren went, the camera was on us. The camera would have been on me and Steve, or Steve and Jake Lever throughout the whole day. There'd be hundreds of talking points, because it happens throughout the whole game.
Well, he and Jake Lever fight like a married couple out there all the time. It's not that rare to see.
Yeah, and I'm in the D50 in a position where we're all quite vulnerable if it goes bad. So I didn't have many people come around and give me a cuddle as well. So I dare say all 17 players at that exact point were like, oh, that's just a killer. And then eventually I got some love throughout the rest of the like the walk off and in the change rooms. But it was a genuine killer of a kick.
Yeah, I don't think the decision was poor. The execution wasn't great, but the decision to go corridor, I think, is what you had to do to win the game of football. So your own actions. You are a great leader of that football club. You've carried the weight of that football club. You've been the pseudo CEO, president, spokesperson, through everything. The Petrarca stuff, the Oliver stuff, you've been front and centre. To me, it looked like just the frustration of a lot of things, as some of all parts boiled out. Is that fair?
Yeah, I mean, I understand where you're getting at, Nick, but it was purely the loss of the game. I'm sick of, one, losing to Collingwood, and two, losing this year and losing a similar way and losing by a point to Collingwood, and that just all was going on in my head at that point. Yeah, I was just extremely disappointed. Like, we had a chance to win the game, and that played out in the goal square.
Can I just say, pardon me, I'm getting emotional. Can I say this? That it's not surprising that after a 1 point loss to a team like Collingwood, that you would be emotional. It's an emotional game full of big moments and big characters, and I don't understand. I get that the pitches are the pitches, but the fact that should become such a talking point, it's kind of understandable. That something bad's happened late in the game, players are frustrated. That's good, right? That you all care, at least enough to go, all right, well, we're not happy with the result. We could have done better. We'll do it different next. Whatever it is, I don't understand why that becomes such a big moment and the one that kind of hijacks everything else that happened on the day. Yeah,
I'm here to defend Steve a little bit here. He's copped it a little bit in the media for the last 24 hours. I think if he had his time again, he might not do it on the final siren, thinking there's a camera there. But that's him throughout the whole game. That's both of us throughout the whole game. And unfortunately, he's been caught on camera. And I sort of make it a bigger thing by pushing him away. So I'm slightly disappointed in how it's played out. You're right. It sort of happens a fair bit.
Sort of pushing him, you'll get 2 weeks for that. Trust me.
Back in 30 seconds.
Where does it stand at the moment with you and your teammate? Are you all good?
Yeah, we're always going to be all good. I've got a lot of respect for him, and he has a respect for me, vice versa. I'm just seeing we're in the back page of the paper. Jeez, that's stiff. And we're
trust me, back page is better than front page.
Yeah, we're currently still talking through it via text, and we'll probably see each other.
What's the coach said?
Coach came out in his presser and said things are all good, which is exactly because he came and spoke to both of us before it. And we'll talk about it today, I dare say.
The reality is that you're only sort of 2 games outside the 8 now. There is a big logjam there, and a lot of things going right. Still, probably that connection forward of centre is a bit of the issue that has been an issue for a long time. But you guys are right back in the season now. You can't afford for this and the noise around this to sort of hijack 5 out of the last 7 and a couple of games that you should have won.
Yeah, I'm still confident that we can match it with most teams, if not all of them now, after losing to the ladder leaders by a point and beating the second ladder leaders, Brisbane, up in the Gabba. So our best football is certainly there, but I'm not looking that far ahead. I'm just next week. We got Port Adelaide in Port. They've just beaten Giants by 20 points. They're a pretty strong team at home. That's the one I'm sort of looking at now.
The big day for you yesterday.
That's a boring cliche.
No, big day for you yesterday.
You've given us plenty today.
I fell asleep during that.
You called this, Mick, that you were going to be involved in the actual slide. We don't see current players involved, and you're a part of it.
You saw right through me.
I saw right through you. I said this weeks ago. I said, "You've got something to do with it. Are you going down?" You said, "No, current day players can't do it." Well, bang! You did go down the slide, and you were there when it happened.
Yes, I had a sneaky suspicion that Cadell was going to dress up as me, which is actually a pretty cool moment because, as you know,
you're a big cycling guy.
I'm a big cycling fan.
I was watching that thinking, Max is going to love this.
So one of my heroes is dressed up as me. I think it's pretty cool, and I think he was best dressed personally.
You should have sent him in to punch Stephen May. dressed as you. I don't
think Cadell was the guy I was going to send in. No offense to Cadell, but street fighting.
He didn't do the arms justice, did he?
No, he still had the cycling tan. I haven't been on a bike for 10 years. What are you doing?
Hey, Hall of Fame tonight. You'll be a future Hall of Famer, of course. What are you hearing about tonight?
Are you hearing anything?
No, I'm not.
Are you in it yet?
No, I'm not.
So where you stand? What's your status?
Yes. Well, it was announced a couple of years ago that I was sort of in, but I hadn't gone through the
You're playing hard.
induction.
You're playing
The
hard to
vetting
get.
process.
He's playing hard to get. He's too cool for the Hall of Fame.
Wouldn't turn up on the night.
No, I was living overseas.
What the hell is that?
I was living overseas.
That's an
That's
easy
so
flight.
less.
It's the
Slap in
Hall
the
of
face.
Fame.
I was
What
living
a
You do it to
overseas.
the whole Tasmania. You slap Tasmania in the face.
Yeah.
Now the whole game. So
You're
where does it
against
stand?
Tassie and the AFL.
No, I'm against everyone.
Okay.
It's me against the world.
So you'll go in when you're good and ready, is what
no,
you
no,
said.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying.
You just said, "Oh, on
you know,
my
Well,
terms."
it's on tonight, so.
What are you hearing
What do you mean?
tonight?
Well, I don't know.
Well, we haven't been invited, so I dare say he's not in.
You'll be in. How
We'd
long
be on
do
the table, surely.
What's that?
We'd be on the table if you were going.
if you were going?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh,
Oh no, we're not on the table. We're not on the table.
Oh, mate, if you're there and there's a table and I'm not on it, trust me, I will. The
tomorrow's
last time
gonna-
I turned up, I got a
Last
tray
time-
of drinks tipped all over.
Correct.
Yeah, yeah.
I had a worse day than you at the footy yesterday. I
You
went
had
to
a
the
few
Melbourne
drinks.
function and
Yeah.
had a tray of drinks tipped on me. And you know what's funny? So when they tipped the tray on me, I'm one person in a room full of 600 people. There's glasses everywhere. You hear the glasses breaking and the trap. You hear the commotion. And then I stand up and everyone goes, "Oh, there he is." like I'd done it. Not the innocent victim that I was. Thanks for,
What room were you in?
I was in the Olympic room.
President's function.
Yeah.
Do you go to games that have not been in presidents?
Normally I don't. No, so I can't believe what it's like behind the glass. Normally out there with the rank and file.
rubbish.
Thank you for coming in today.
Thanks for having
You
me.
always deliver and you're always in the news, and we appreciate you coming in and being so honest after a very big day for you and the club. Thanks, Maxie.